Hey guys, Dr. Prometheus here, back with another episode of our Grand Tactician. We're in 1862, starting with this. We got the Army of Northern Virginia retreated in good order. Here we go. We earned a glorious tactical victory here. As we bled the Union of 21,000 troops, we lost 9,000, and all we did was give up some territory at this point. We're not able to hold this because Jackson will have his rear undefended at this point. So we're going to have to move Jackson with haste back. The Army of the Peninsula will actually eventually come out and do some work. We're going to come out and get the hospital corps for all of the corps at this point. And with that readiness, we're going to come forward and deal with the Department of Virginia. It is about time we deal with this, and this is Fort Monroe, so we don't have to worry about a rear guard action against us. Our next battle is likely to happen out west. Biggest thing we're having issues with is guns. Getting the amount of guns out to the troops. And we're trying to fix that. We're going with industry and regulars. Regulars would be nice to get into another corps for the Army of Northern Virginia, and then we're kind of sitting there. So it said that it was a Union major victory. I'm not sure about that one. I don't see that as a major victory for the Union. Army of the Mississippi is at Columbus, so that is a thing. It's 27,000. Army of Ohio, we've lost sight of it since March 3rd. Looks like it might be marching north towards Nashville, possibly. I think we might coalesce our third corps into the army itself and see if we can't do a delaying action. Polk's up here. We got 37,000. Army of the Mississippi is marching south. So if that is the case, I want to get the third corps off to the junction here at Bolivar. And we'll see what we need to do. Bragg's second corps is going to be right here. The Army of the Tennessee is camped at Jacksonville Ferry. 57,000. If that is the case, I'm going to put Forrest up here. We might be heading the first corps down south. Army of Mississippi, though, has to take a couple of forts before that. But I think Army of Tennessee is coming towards the first corps. I think at this point, we get the third corps over to Bolivar. Breckinridge is going to come up to Pickwick. Second corps going to move up. We're going to force a battle with the Army of Tennessee. Let's halt here. Halt the advance of the army. Keep readiness. Mississippi Squadron is 19 ships. Are we able to deal with this in a conductive manner? Probably not. Nine ships. our sea ships. It's going to be all about holding Mississippi. We're going to bolster her with as much as we possibly can. We're going to bolster her. 17 ships. 18. Not a lot of guns. The Union's coming down with 102 guns and 19 ships. Army of Tennessee is going to come straight for the first corps. If that is the case, we're going to maneuver back with the first corps with Polk. We're going to center ourselves around the landing here. We need to increase our readiness. Here, the Army of Northern Virginia should be finally in retreat. This. Hill's going to come over here. Army of Northern Virginia is going to retreat where? Oh, the Army of Richmond. Retreat anyway. Magruder is at destination. Alright, let's force a battle with the Department of Virginia. Army of the Peninsula should have decent weapons. Frenzies and fields and fields. Heh. We're building another fort there. I need to get him in reinforcement range, otherwise he won't be able to. Army of Tennessee is in pursuit. So we do win. Here, the Army of the Mississippi is marching down to connect with the Army of Tennessee. I am very concerned about that fight. Where is... Who has orange? He does. Okay, it is. Okay, you're preparing for siege. That's a negative, Ghost Rider. This is a full retreat. Okay, Lee is at destination. Lee is gonna pull here. DH Hill is not at destination yet. Once DH Hill is at destination, we're kind of going to stagger this. We'll put DH Hill here, or actually DH Hill back here on the railroad. Jackson's Corps is going to come over here. And we'll finally be able to counter what the Union is throwing at us. Keyword is should. Okay, if they're orange, that should be a fight. So we could technically move here with Van Dorn. Force is going to halt. Breckenridge. Depending on how this one goes at Corinth, it could mean a retreat. It could mean we don't have to retreat. You know what? Go full stop here. Jackson's Corps is there. No, we literally, no, we have to move at speed here. We don't have a choice. Otherwise the Union is going to exploit that gap that we have in our lines. Okay, Army of the Peninsula in contact with Johnny Wool. This is McGruger. We want to take this and then we want to siege Fort Monroe. We outnumbered them at 2-1. This is one we have to take this and Monroe. And then hopefully then we can worry about holding the Union at Fredericksburg. Okay? Not overestimated our men. We are good to go. The Union. This is an attack the enemy. I think we're going to go on the Shady Grove Road and go over to Bethesda Church. Is the easiest way to do this. Let's march over to Bethesda Church. Recruited to all commands. Long range. We have no cavalry in this unit, just infantry and cannons. So once we get set up near Bethesda Church, we're going to feel out the Union defenses. If there are any. I would guess the Union is either at a defensive position at Bethesda Church, defensive position down at Johnson House down here. They could be down at Old Cold Harbor, down at Gaines Mill, but I highly doubt they've retreated as far as Gaines Mill. Mill Run might be one that they're at, but I'm guessing they're going to be in the center here. It would be my guess. As Forno is out on the lead, leading McClaw's division. McClaw is the division commander now. Dobby Magruder's out here. Magruder, depending on this, may end up in an army out west. Depending on the circumstances, we might constitute a new army. At least a one that's a defensive army near Arkansas that can kind of repel. However, we need decisive engagements with armies right now. Okay, there's Griffith's division here with their Enfield. We're not seeing any Union division. or units. So let's use McLaw's is going to go down here. Tombs section is going to go down to Bethesda Church. I don't like splitting my force, but the fact that we need to find the Union forces and attack them. See if one of them is there. We got the Union forces here. Belay the orders. We have reports of Union forces coming in from the north. McLaw is going to set up a defensive position here. The Tombs. You have a defensive position on his right. Go, men. Get deployed for battle. Come on, Magruder. Send the orders to the divisions. No skirmishers. You get in position. Once Tomb's men's in, Tomb is going to advance on the right. Tombs, single line. Prepare to advance through the woods. Okay, on this. Through a line. Once the orders come through, we'll hold position. You detach that. The men are ready. Advance. From the tree line, boys. Fall back all skirmishers. Fall back your skirmishers. Advance. Move the cannons off to the right. Limber. Men, advance. We're having trouble by Magruder to actually getting his forces organized. We're gonna unlimber and we're gonna fire. Push, man. On his left. Unlimber and fire. The enemy is retreating. Forward march. That's it, boys. Major victory. They should have all be routed, right? Yeah, both brigades are routed. So the hold here does not work for the Union. We easily cut through them. No commanders are killed on either side. Benning is wounded, for the Wool Hat boys. Other than that, we are good. Look at Jeb Stewart. We gotta look to see if his division is still messed up. Or his brigade. I know his brigade has to reconstitute after being captured. And we need to reconstitute it. Oh, each chapter also has a bumps up the number. Okay, that I did not know because I haven't started a beginning of the war campaign in a while. We didn't lose any. No commanders were killed. Let's look at Lee's. It's now Mumford's. Losing him was big. George H. Stewart. I wonder if you can eventually get MIA guys back somehow. They're in retreat. Hill's a destination. Put Hill here. Jackson's going to eventually take over this, but that could particularly save us in the long run. Okay. Army of Indiana. Get to see the first corps there. Army of Mississippi is going to reinforce, I think. Gonna halt. Gonna halt. Yeah, we kind of knew that was gonna happen. It was a delay action more than anything. All honesty, that needs to be the Army of Northern Virginia. This needs to be here. And Jackson's Corps needs to come down here. He's at Fort Monroe. 1700. Okay. And here we go. Department of the West. We're going to end this episode taking this battle against Samuel R. Curtis. It's going to be a very, very tight battle, but we do have an advantage. We have 17,000 men. And we're really just trying to kick them out of Arkansas at Fayetteville. And then we will hold where they're getting the supply depot built. And we will hold there until we can figure out what we want to do from there. So this is a Confederate attack the enemy. We will surely do that at this point. Pea Ridge battlefield. Okay. Pull up the parts. Pratt's store with McCullough. Forefront. Price. We'll be looking at the river. With Parsons. Parsons will be in Deserve at Pratt's store. This is the end of day. It was a night we've been waiting. During the night we've moved up a little bit. Not much. We see the Union on our left flank. Over at Leestown. Through Albert Pike's Indian Division. We're going to have to set up in a way that we take defensive positions along here. Whole army will be in single column. See what we eventually come up with. Here. This will be the reinforcement. I want to see where the edge of the Union line is, where their extreme left is. The 4-pound howitzers. Field guns have to be close. Anything. The howitzers here. Okay, we're exploring their left. They're gonna open up on us. Obviously. 12-pound Napoleons. Napoleons, just put them there. Next thing we do is we're gonna detach all of the cannons. When we actually make our attack, it is there. Oh, they backed up and gave us room. They backed up to a defensive position. Okay, so let's move our men here. Move our men here. We have to be an attacking group. We're going to come up on the right with this unit. We're not going to attack them in the fortifications. That's just not going to happen. Means I need to check the rear here. Go here. Field guns are going to go here. Napoleons are going to go here. And the Union is actually going to give me ground. Very strange to say the least. I'm unsure if they're trying... Are they trying to move? They're getting to this high ground. Is what they're doing. If that's the case, we need to pressure them immediately. With a delaying action. For this section. Otherwise, it'll be damn near impossible to get them off this. We need to explore their extreme right. We are destroying the 1st Brigade there. Wounded! Green! Colonel Green has been wounded. This is Martin E. Green. Yeah, Colton Green here. I wonder if they are brothers. We need to get Pike around the outside. We're gonna probe the edge of the Union line here. We're about to lose McNair here. We just did. Okay, that's the same one we lost. I was about to say, did we just lose another one? We are wiping the Union right now, but it's messy. Tried to do a horseshoe formation and it just did not work. They're trying to play a delaying action right now, and we're not having any of it. We're assaulting on multiple angles right now. I think this one's pretty much done, this battle. And that would be a good 3-to-1 casualties here. We did have one wounded commander. Nothing significant. Other than that, to report, Van Dorn comes through. It's going to be Colonel Green. Got 2 Greens. I wonder if they're brothers. For the Union. Weinkoop looks like we captured him. Other than that, I'm not seeing anyone else that was injured. Just Weinkoop there. As for the losses, we took only 1,300 casualties, most of which were missing and wounded, so those will come back. It was mostly McCullough's division that took a lot of the hits. Mostly wounded, and that was in Cav and McNair's brigade, which I think is the one that doesn't have as many. As for the ones that did the most damage, it's Parsons' division. McCullough at 990. Price's Indian brigade did decent. Artillery did some good shelling. It's nice to see. Okay, so that will end our battle out west. I think the only other one we have to worry about is Shiloh. And that is going to be quite a battle, to say the least. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to take all of our men and actually condense them in a smaller area, but we can definitely see if that is possible. If it is, then that means we'll be able to deal a blow to at least one of the armies before we may have to retreat. They're coming at us with 80,000 men. It won't be as ridiculous as the 45 versus 120. I think we can win, but I'm not exactly... I'm not exactly hopeful. We'll put it this way. Army of the Southwest is done. We're going to build a depot not far outside of Fayetteville. Army of Tennessee is close. Beginning in here. At this point, we might as well get Bragg's. And we get the entire corps concentrated. It's going to be 44,000 men be on the field. It's going to be very, very close. I don't see the other army. My guess is they're like right around here. I'm unsure if they'll be able to reinforce. And how quickly they'll be able to reinforce. One thing I also want to double check is, do we have the ability to give out any guns to this army right now? Mississippi Rifles, Enfields, Lorenz's. No. We can get some other ones. So let's see. In Bragg's, let's give them some 12-pound field guns. The other portion is going to be 12-pound howitzers. Under Hardy, let's give them 24-pound howitzer, 6-pound, 12-pound field gun, a 12-pound howitzer and Hubbards. At least We'll have something 3-inch ordnance, 6-pound field guns, even 25 or 24 pounders there. I'm unsure if Polk will be able to advance fast enough. We'll keep them with 6-pound field guns. We do have some Springfield musketoons. In that case, we will bring them in Bragg. Bragg is fairly close. At least that is a net positive of sorts. I don't want to impact the readiness here. $18,000. What? How are they not in retreat? What? What is this sorcery you speak of? Hotchkiss should be down here to deal with this. We're going to take the Army of the Peninsula. We need to take Fort Monroe as quickly as possible. The Jackson's Corps will be south. We don't have a lot of men on the field in the grand scheme of things. We're just winning some battles here and there. Not a lot of battles, though. The issue. For Polk. But Bragg as quickly and as far as we possibly can. They shouldn't take Richmond from this because that'd be a cheap way to do it. I need Hill be there. Also, their readiness is not great in the first place, so I doubt it matters. Army of the Mississippi reversed and is out here. Okay, that could be an issue. Army of the Mississippi is like 30 to 40,000 strong. 100,000 strong. Jesus. Looks like the fighting is going to be more towards here. We can get them to respond if we win this. And it looks like they disregarded that because McCown's division, McCown's fort here, was able to repel the shipping. And that's why we were able to do something or another. Okay, so in the next episode, it will be a fight between, I think this is Grant. And none other than Robert Sidney Johnson. It's going to be a fairly even fight. However, they're going to have more on the field to start with. But it's going to be fairly even. If we can win this fairly even fight here, particularly with reinforcements, 6,000 from the 3rd Corps, eventually, then that is going to mean that their Tennessee campaign is effectively done and over with. And with that, we can resupply, wait, push our corps north, take back Nashville, and reestablish northern Tennessee. Which means we do not need to retreat the 1st Corps of Edmund Kirby Smith, who is opposed on the other side with Morgan's command. We can hold the Cumberland Gap. But that still gives us an issue on Virginia. They got a lot of men over here. We're going to reconstitute into possible corps as we go through. We'll get the other corps portion with the regulars. And then we need to hold the area at Fredericksburg. and then worry about Fort Monroe. Once Fort Monroe, we can consolidate our forces here and prepare to take back Northern Virginia. And once we take back Northern Virginia, we can then hold Richmond, hold this, worry about a Kentucky idea, which probably won't be anytime soon. We'll probably have to hit Morgan's command at some point. Probably next episode if we can get the readiness of Evan Kirby Smith up to, up to very well. We can with the depot over here at the Cumberland Gap. And then the idea is what we do with the Department of Mississippi with 100,000 men strength. That means they have multiple corps all over here. So that's going to be something to deal with. Thank you all for joining me, guys. Don't forget to leave a like below, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Later.